been asked to briefly address you on the Planning Assessment Commission and functions and what empowers it to function. So in regard to T4, basically the New South Wales Minister for Planning on the 13th of September in 2012 determined that the Planning Assessment Commission would, in the first instance, undertake a review of the T4 project. So what that means now is that this project will be subject to what is called a public hearing. Now that is quite different from what otherwise the PAC does, which is holds a public meeting before it makes a determination. So why this is really fundamental to the community is that a public hearing means that any merit review rights that may have existed for this proposal will no longer exist, because the law says that once a public hearing has taken place, all of those merit issues that the community is concerned about will have had the opportunity to be addressed, and for the independent planning body, the Planning Assessment Commission, will have heard everyone's concerns and then will collate all those concerns and hand those on to the final determining authority. Now in this case, that will be a PAC, but it will be a differently constituted PAC to the PAC that has the whole public hearing. So with that background, the PAC is an independent planning body that is, there are 9 permanent members of the PAC and there are 7 casual members of the PAC. So the PAC will be constituted of no less than 2 members for both the hearing that is undertaken for T4 and then the final determination that's made for T4. Just by way of background, the last reporting year of the PAC had before it 105 applications, which was a substantial increase from the reporting year before, which only had 29 applications. So out of those 105 for the last reporting period, which was last financial year, there was 96 of that 105 were approved and only 9 of those applications were refused. Out of those 105, 49 of those were for concept plans or project applications, so state significant developments, mostly under the Part 3A, the old Part 3A. 56 of those were modifications, applications for modification of already approved larger major project developments. Out of the 9 that were refused, 7 of those were concept plan project applications and 2 of those were applications for modifications of already approved projects. So there were, last year there were 24 public meetings. Now, as I said at the outset, they are not public hearings. So there were 24 public meetings, but interestingly, in the last reporting period, there was only 2 actual public hearings. So the public hearings undertaken by the PAC they're not common, and so T4 will be one of the relatively few that have taken place. Of the 2 that did happen in the last reporting period, they were the Moores Creek coal mine development and the Boggabri coal mine development. They're the 2 large mine projects out in near Narrabri in the northwest. Interestingly, one of the, this is naturally just by way of background, one of the project applications that was refused by the PAC was the Ashton South East Open coal mine development. The PAC, after assessing all of the implications of the South East Open Cut, determined that the impacts would not, the impacts were outweighed by the benefits of the project. But interestingly, for anyone that's followed that particular proposal, the PAC did refuse that. It was one of its 9. However, the proponent then went to the Land Environment Court, and then through a mediated kind of outcome, it was determined that it would go back to the PAC for approval. So it is interesting that sometimes the Planning Assessment Commission, notwithstanding determining to refuse a project, that project may well result in a final approval down the track. So getting back to the actual PAC, you would be now aware, and you're interested in being here tonight, is that T4 is at what we would say it's relatively advanced stage through the planning system. The proposal originally was first exhibited from March to May last year, and it's now in its stage of exhibition, and that is that the preferred project report and the response, the proponent's response to all of the submissions made about the project is now on exhibition. It's a really, really important time for the community to engage in this project, and as I would say now, as a community environmental lawyer, this is your chance to really, really have your say and engage with the merit of this proposal, because this will be the final time that you get that opportunity. So one of the interesting things now to note is it's always difficult to be completely aware of what the time frame will be. However, what was said in the Minister's request for the Planning Assessment Commission to undertake this public hearing, it was a requirement to submit, for the PAC to submit its final report on the review to me, this is the Minister's words, within 3 months of the receipt of the proponent's response to submissions or preferred project report, unless, of course, the DG agrees otherwise. But one of the things at the moment that the Planning Assessment Committee is very much priding itself on is its capacity to respond in a limited time frame. So we know that the project is now on exhibition for its final stage. It is the opportunity to make submissions. The Planning Assessment Commission has determined that it will be a public hearing, or the Minister has required one. And technically, all that's meant to be sorted and done in terms of the Planning Commission reporting back to the Minister within 3 months of the preferred project. Now, we are aware that some members of the community have received an extension to that conditions. So we're looking at a 3-month period with some, I would suggest, some flexibility around when the actual final 3 months period is up. So in relation to what to expect, the Planning Assessment Commission, and you're going to get a fabulous taste of what that actually and technically will mean through your mock or your people's PAC hearing this evening. And hopefully what you see tonight will be what you can expect. But it is a time where the Planning Assessment Commission by law is required to receive your submissions as members of the community and to hear concerns. At EDO, we say this is an opportunity that you engage with to your fullest capacity in terms of evidence-based technical submission you can make, because at the end of the day, what the Planning Assessment Commission does is, in accordance with law, it undertakes a balancing exercise.